So welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar where you will learn all about the new MTAS website. The MTAS website is one of the most important resources for you in addition to our consultants, training, and research services. We want to make sure you have a good introduction, and then we will ask you to be sure and provide us feedback once you have a chance to try it out on your own after the webinar. So some quick introductions. I'm Frances Adams O'Brien, MTAS librarian at the MTAS Research and Information Center, and I'm excited to provide this overview of the new MTAS website. And assisting today are the other members of the Research and Information team, librarians Lindy Wibke and Desiree Aldrich. Thanks, guys. So a couple of housekeeping notes. Unless you're having a technical issue, please hold questions until the end of the webinar. We have a lot to cover. We will have time to answer questions and address any feedback you may have at the end of the webinar. Also, feel free to put questions in the chat. We will answer them in the Q&A portion of the webinar. As I said, we will be recording and send that recording out to folks who've registered today. We will now turn our cameras off to focus on the content. Here's what I plan to cover today. I will talk a little bit about why we did this redesign, and then I'll highlight the new features of the site. We will spend most of our time together today in a live tour of the website. To wrap up, we will talk about what's next and then open it up for questions or comments. Before we get into our content, however, I have a quick poll for you, and I hope you'll share your thoughts. It would help us to know when you do visit the MTAS website, what do you look for? And if you're willing to participate in the poll, get your phones out and text F Adams to the number 22333. And you'll get a message back pretty quickly, if it works, saying that you've joined the poll. Then all you have to do is make your selection in a text, so it'll be A through G, and send that message. If you don't have a way to text, just enter your choice in the meeting chat. Also, in the poll, you will see an option to select Other. If that's your choice, if you don't mind entering a word or two of explanation in the chat for the benefit of the group and MTAS, and that would be great. So let's go ahead, and here is the poll. And if you don't mind going ahead and submitting some responses, we will see those pop up on the screen. Okay, training information, city directory information. Hopefully you all are seeing the poll as it responds to the text messages. Codes and charters, okay, cool. Information resources. Very interesting and very instructive. Okay, excellent. So it's pretty much even between codes and charters and training. Oh, training dropped and codes and charters went up. Not sure how that works. You can only enter one choice, but great. So thank you guys so much for participating. I think this is going to be helpful information for us as we move forward. Now let's talk a little bit about why we did this redesign. First and foremost, MTAS is always trying to make sure we are meeting the needs of Tennessee cities as best we can. And we provide a lot of information on our website. While our previous website provided a wealth of information, we were getting feedback from customers and staff that there were some issues. So we did a usability study with customer input, which led our leadership team to hire a respected web design company, Barkley OKRP, to help us bring our website to the next level. Barkley also conducted its own usability study, or a discovery phase, in 2023, And through conversations and surveys with customers and staff, Barclay determined that these three items were at the top of the top areas for improvement. So users found it difficult to navigate and locate information on our site. In fact, some users reporting just going to Google to search and find content on the MTAS website rather than just searching directly on the site. And then users gave us a clear directive: make it easier to find information on our site. Barclay then began the process of developing a new site to address these top concerns while staying aligned with UT, IPS, and MTAS branding guidelines and keeping customer needs in the front of mind. So what were the main areas that were addressed in the redesign and what's new as a result? First, it looks more modern and is easier on the eyes. But more specifically, the navigation is built for users, which includes more intuitive labels, navigation quick links, and navigation cards, which create multiple pathways to the same resources. Clear structure of the site, so users instantly grasp what's available and where it lives. Our business is connecting with customers. Then the new site puts more ways to directly find the right person throughout the site. Events, news, and training are prioritized with dates, locations, current content, and registration front and center on the home page. More explanatory content is provided throughout the site with consistent headings, buttons, links, and cross-links that guide next steps. And finally, we enhance the on-page metadata for more accurate search results and less dependence on Google. With those highlights in mind, let's move on to the live demonstration. So we'll take about 25 minutes for the demonstration in which we'll hit the main content areas of the website. We'll start at the home page with a general overview. Then we will take off from the main home page to look at each of the main service areas. We won't be able to cover all aspects of the website in this session, so please plan to come back to the website on your own and check it out. Okay, now we're going to switch to Lindy will be sharing her screen, and she will be working through the content or working through the browser while I kind of talk through the content. So thank you, Lindy. Well, and something I also want to add is while we're switching screens here, is if you had something in mind that you wanted to see that I don't cover in the demo, please make a note of that, and we will take a look at that at the end of the demonstration. Lindy, I'm not seeing your screen.
Okay, it says that I'm screen sharing and it's got the green outline
Okay.
around.
I'm seeing it
How
now.
about now? There we
I'm
go.
seeing it
All
now.
right.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
All right. So for this demonstration, as I said, we'll use the home page as our guide for navigating through the site. As I already mentioned, we'll not be able to open and look at every page due to time constraints, but we will hit the highlights. And again, if I miss something, please let me know towards the end of the demo. First up, I want to point out the site feedback tab that sits on the right side of the site. This is a new feature on the MTAS website, and we encourage you to provide feedback when you run into an issue. Now let's look at the main navigation bar. Lindy is actually moving her mouse as I'm talking, so I'm hoping that will help you kind of locate where we are in the demonstration. So first, a little bit about the functionality of the main navigation bar. It's different and it's set up to be more accessible. So the main menu header is not a link itself. You must activate the menu header with a mouse click. When you click on the menu header, a menu will drop down that is clickable for further navigation. I want to look at what's under each of these headers, as this will help you understand the structure of our site. So we start with the About Us menu, which is where you'll find information about our services, history, strategic plan, office locations, and how to contact us. The Charters and Codes menu links to the landing page for Charters and Codes, as well as linking directly to the Charters Codes and Sample Codes pages. Under Resources and References, you'll find the following information resources that we offer online: More, Merlin, useful links, pages, the salary survey, and our MTAS reference publications. The training menu provides links to the training landing page, as well as direct links to registration information, training programs, online classes, City Bites, and the training FAQs. The directories menu links to the cities and towns listing, and I saw that was important to a lot of folks on the call. The MTAS staff listing, our listing of municipal officials and staff, and our office locations. And the news header is a direct link to our news page, which we're going to take a look at in just a minute. One other thing about this main navigation menu is if your browser window is a bit smaller than what we are showing here, the navigation header switches to a vertical menu, and it will be available under a hamburger icon that will be available on the right side of the screen. And that hamburger doesn't actually look like a hamburger. It's three little horizontal lines kind of in a stack. It's not on the screen right now because we have a fairly large monitor that we're showing this demo on. So if you are on your phone or on a smaller browser window, look for that little 3-bar icon. Another thing I want to talk about while we're on the front page here is the 2 global search bars. Moving on, so you'll see 2 of them. So you have one in the top right corner and a search bar in the middle of the masthead. Feel free to use either search box as they search the same resources on our site. Start your search with just a few words, and you'll get results from all corners of our site. So to demonstrate the search results, let's do a quick search for materials on development fees. And Lindy is going to use the center search box and then just hit enter. And here are the search results. The title of the item, which we'll be looking at here, is a link to the document record, and the title also indicates what type of document it is. The first item listed here presents results from a survey on development and impact fees. If you click on the title link to open the record, this is where you'll find any attachments or full text, depending on what's available. Importantly, on the left side of the screen, there are filters which will help you narrow your search results, because as you can see, we got 2,518 results with this search. So narrowing it down is probably a good thing. So we can filter by document category and document type. So you would just click in, and Lindy's not necessarily going to do that, but click into any of those boxes. It takes a second for it to apply that. I see someone saying, are you seeing results when she types or clicks on anything? Oh, is the screen moving now? Okay. Oh, it's not moving. Okay. Well, we will plow ahead. It could be a connection issue, maybe internet connection. And okay, so we talked about the filters, and they are a little slow to apply. So when you click in the box, give it a minute, and then it will apply the filter and narrow your search results. And again, these results come from all corners of our website. Now we're going to go back to the home page. Front and center, MTAS is about service, and this area of the home page is dedicated to connecting customers with our services. Our services are grouped into these categories where access to more information is provided by these navigation cards. You'll hover your mouse over the card and click on the header or the Read More link to be directed to that information. And you'll see here we have a way to find your consultant, the training and development information, resources and references, municipal charters and codes, the Tennessee Municipal Directory, and our career opportunities listings. As you scroll down, there is a call out for About MTAS. So if you click on that button there, it's going to take you to information about our services. And something else that's new on the site is these call outs where this one says, "We are here to help." We have placed a relevant call out similar to this on every page to help customers get in touch with us. And this particular one takes you to our Contact Us page, where you'll find links to our office locations, main phone number, email address, and a whole lot more. Next, you'll see our news feed. This is another new feature on our site. The news feed will provide articles written by MTAS staff and other news of interest. And the next item below that is our upcoming events feed. And this feed provides a listing of conferences and other events that are relevant to Tennessee municipal government. And a quick look at the footer at the bottom. Our contact information is there, another way to report any website issues. And then the center where we have the quick links, I just want to point out there is an employment link, and that will take you to our career opportunities page. And we're going to take a little look at that later. And then, of course, there's links to other IPS agencies. All right. So now that we've looked at the home page, oh, Diana, I'm glad you're back in and can see. Yay. Okay, so now let's jump over to the Find Your Consultant page. Just give you a quick look at that. This provides an alphabetical listing with our little shining faces of all MTAS staff. On this page, as on all of the other pages of the site, we have helpful navigation on the left side. On this page, you can filter by MTAS consulting areas. So locating, giving you the ability to locate consultants in your area of interest. You can filter by city. So the way this works is you click on the cities button and you can type ahead to get to an individual city. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. And then in that listing that comes up, you'll see all of the consultants assigned to your city. And we're going to take a quick example here, and we're looking at halls. So this is all of the MTAS consultants assigned to halls. So you have your legal, public works, finance, training, municipal management, James Llewellyn, who's in the meeting today, David Moore, Donald Pinnell, and HR, and Steve with utility management. So that is the filter by city. You can also filter by office location if you're looking to find staff that work in the MTAS office closest to you. There's also an email link to get in touch with us. In addition, there's the other directories listed here: Tennessee cities and towns, the municipal staff officials, and the MTAS office locations. And with Lindy, we'll scroll up just a tad. Okay, in the top right corner of the page, you'll see another new feature added to improve navigation. I call these our flag link. And on this page, it links to our office locations. So be sure to pay attention to those as they change depending on the content of the page that you're on. All right, so now let's go to our training and development landing page. This is the main page for training and development, and it lists all things training at MTAS. As you scroll down, you'll see the navigation cards that will take you to information on the training calendar, training programs, online training courses, city and city bites. So as you scroll down, you'll see a call out for how to register. So this will take you to more information on registration. Meet your MTAS training consultants. That pulls up a list of our training consultants. And then at the bottom, training has a really great FAQ. It's helpful and comprehensive, and this takes you to that. So you may find an answer there if you're not able to get a hold of anybody, which you will be able to get a hold of people. All right, and now we're going to go back up and take a look at the training calendar. All events are listed chronologically here with date and time at a glance. You'll see a link that says view more class information and or register. This takes you to Kate, our learning management system, where you can get the details on class content and register for the class. In the top right corner, I want to point out that flag link again. And on this page, it takes you to the training FAQs. Over on the left side of the page, this is another good example of the side navigation that we've added throughout the site, which provides cross-linking and assistance throughout the site. So you can filter here by in-person or online training, depending on if you're interested in something like that. There's a link to contact our training program, and then you'll see training class by audience. And this is really nice. It kind of gives a pre-filtered list of classes that would be of interest to these particular audiences. For instance, elected officials. One other thing, let's go back and let's jump to the training programs class, or page, sorry. Okay, on the training programs page, this gives you a listing of all of our programs. And they're listed in the center in what we call our accordion drawers. If you click on the plus sign, the drawer will open, and we'll take a look at the CMFO information here. So it gives you a little summary and then a link to a page on the information on the a link to a page on the CMFO page. So let's take a jump over there. And on this page, you'll find information such as policies, instructions, forms, content from the comptroller, and more. And most importantly, at the bottom, you'll find a link to our MTAS consultant in charge of the program, Che Case-DeGaulle. Also, on the left side of this page, we have provided navigation to all of the other programs. So you don't have to go back, to get to another program page if that's of interest. Before we leave this page, I want to show the breadcrumb features. And it's kind of right there, like where Lindy's mouse is, in the masthead. And these are navigational links that will be helpful as you travel further into the site. Okay, now we're going to jump over to resources and references. And this is our one-stop shop for all the main information resources MTAS makes available on its website. First up, you'll see search boxes for More and Merlin. If you are not familiar with these resources, we provide a brief description of each right above the search box. You can search directly in one of the databases depending on what you're looking for. And as we demonstrated earlier, the global website search finds materials in More and Merlin as well. So you have options. Further down the page, you'll see most visited useful links collections. Again, these are navigation cards. and they take you to a curated list of resources, which is curated by our consultants in areas such as courts, finance, HR, police, and more. I do urge you to come back and take a look at these because there's a lot of valuable information there. And then as we scroll down, there's a link to our MTAS reference publications. We're actually going to take a look at that listing. This again is another curated listing of downloadable MTAS publications. For example, records retention schedules are here available for download. Again, it's the link is inside the accordion drawer, and you would just click on that blue button to download the PDF. And going back to the resources and references page, look, Lindy's using the breadcrumbs. You'll see a link to our MTAS salary survey. If you're unfamiliar with this resource, please reach out to me after the webinar. I can help you get started with that. And then, of course, there's another call out for us to be able to help you find what you're looking for. So let's take a jump over now to the Charters and Codes page. This is the landing page where you'll find links to the Charters page, Codes page, a link for the Tennessee Municipal Directory, and a link to more information on our codification services. I want to give a note before I jump into these databases about where the codes and charters live on our website. Each Tennessee city has a listing in our municipal directory, which we will take a look at in a minute. And on the page for each city, you will find detailed information for that city or town, including their charter and code. And now, like I said, we'll take a look at that in just a minute. So for now, let's take a look at the charters page. And this page is alphabetical by city, and we do provide filters by type of charter and by city. So if you need to jump directly to a city, again, it's the click on the cities box and do the type ahead. Okay, let's jump over to codes. Again, there is a link in the top right corner between codes and charters where you can go back and forth if you find that you're not in the place that you wanted to be. So this is another alphabetical listing of all cities for which we prepare a code, as well as for cities that have their codes prepared by a different publisher. You can filter by cities, and you can also filter by who produces the code, MTAS or a third party. Also on the side navigation, we have links to the charters page and sample codes page. All right, now we're going to go over to the Tennessee Municipal Directory, and that's where I'll show you where the codes and charters are and all of the other detailed information. So this is another alphabetical listing of all cities. We have a lot of filters on this page, and you can see those. We have things such as grand division, population, charter type. You can filter by city to jump to an individual city. Again, it's the same type ahead list. You just type in the name of the city. And we're going to look at halls again as an example. Using the type ahead feature, it brings up this nice card. We have a little photo of every city on each city's card, I should say, and then the county and the population. And then the link that says learn more actually takes you to the city detail page. And I want to point out some highlights of this page. In the center of the page, you'll see municipal statistics, which includes items like county, population, and more. Next, we have municipal data, which is such things as when the council meets, their office hours, and more. Now we can see a table as we continue to scroll down, which provides elected officials for halls, department heads for the city, legal staff, and uh, the MTAS consultants. And you're able to see this information in the table by clicking on the header. The card for each person, if you click on that, it brings up information, contact information for each individual. And then next is the actual links to the charter and code. Again, it's in the accordion drawer. If you click on the plus sign, for example, on the code, you see all of the links to the code. And then charter operates the same way. And there is a link to the charter. Plus, you've got information on incorporation date and that kind of thing, and the date of the charter when it was last updated. And then the last thing on this list, or on the page in the middle of the page, is the map of the city, and it is a Google map. So let's scroll back up. On the side navigation for this, the city detail page, you'll see the contact information for each city, which includes their website and social media that we know about or that's been provided to us. The other thing on this page that's very important is the see something wrong box. If you see something that needs to be updated, please use one of these forms. And there are 3 options. You can update the city or town information like population, etc. You can update an official or staff member, or you can add a new official or staff person. And these forms go to our webmaster, Lisa Shipley, where she takes care of that for you. It only takes a couple of minutes, and it's really important to help us keep this information up to date. All right. Now we will take some time to answer the questions. I see a question in the chat. We'll get to that in just a second. All right, so now we're going to jump over to the municipal and MTAS career opportunities page. And this is a landing page, and on this page you'll see links to MTAS career opportunities and municipal career opportunities. One of the services we offer to cities at no cost is to post selected job openings. From this page, you can see you've got your links there. You also have helpful information on how to request a posting and a button to submit a posting, which creates an email to the library staff. Let's take a look at the municipal career listing. So at the bottom, you'll see the positions listed that have been sent to us. They're listed chronologically based on the oldest first. And when you click on the job title, it opens a page with more information, such as depending on what's been provided to us, it's probably going to have a link to their website. It may have a short description. But yeah, now that is a service at no cost. And after we post it on our website, we also post it on our social media platforms, Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. All right, so that is what I had planned for the demonstration today. All right, well, Lindy, I guess if you'll release your sharing, we'll switch back to my screen. Okay, so what's next? We will continue to improve the site and address user feedback. We already have a list of items that will be addressed post-launch. We've already had one release. There will continue to be regular releases with improvements. And like I said, we encourage your feedback. We've made it simple using the site feedback tab on the right side of the right margin of the site. And there's also that link in the footer. Please send your feedback. Now, when you I forgot to mention this, when you do submit a feedback form, you will get a confirmation email that we've received that feedback. All right. Are there any other questions or, yes, feedback is our friend. Are there any other questions? We have time. And you also feel free to unmute and chime in. if you have a question or comment, or if you've used the website, have anything you want to offer on that, that'd be great. Okay, maybe we've answered all the questions already. All right, so as we wrap up here, just a couple of reminders. Again, send us your feedback. And also be sure to check out the mobile version of the site. It is a mobile native version, and it actually looks pretty good. So check that out, give us feedback on that. And here are some email addresses for getting in contact with us about the website or about anything information related. And again, we will send a recording out, a link to a recording, which will be posted on our MTAS YouTube channel. I see Judy says site is user friendly. Chuck's got a couple of revisions. Yay. Chuck, I'm not sure how long it takes to get the revisions up there. That would be a question for Lisa Shipley. I can find out and follow up with you after the meeting, if that's okay. And I'm sorry if some folks had technical issues. Guess that's inevitable. All right. Well, thank you all for being here and being engaged, and I hope you all have a great day.